Oh, there I am. Hey, you guys. Hey, happy 444. Happy 444. There's so many of you guys here. Wow. I mean, you guys really want to know about the Jupiter frequency because I got so many bookings for this class, like more than I've ever gotten. So I see that everybody wants to get on the Jupiter frequency. I've been on the Jupiter frequency for, it's been like 6 months or so. Like I've been wearing yellow. You guys see I have on yellow. I've been wearing yellow a lot, like unconsciously for like almost like the last year. And then I didn't even know it was like leading up to this whole Jupiter frequency thing, but it seems to be a thing. Today is a really, really magical day, you guys. 444 portal. Everybody's doing meditations, all that stuff. I guess today at 4:44, there's going to be some meditations going on, and I think some are happening at 4 o'clock. But of course, this is PST. I know everybody's on different time schedules across the world, but we're still in unisons anyway, right? And then today is the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction, and it's lasting a couple of days, so it's not just only today. I'm so glad you guys are commenting. I love when you guys comment. So, you know, this is a big deal. Jupiter and Pluto coming together in Capricorn, and you guys already know what's going on the world stage. So I feel like this is like kind of a little bit of a grand finale because we already know what Pluto does. We know Pluto likes to tear shit down, right? And then we know that Jupiter likes to expand, but Jupiter is also that positive energy, you know? Jupiter is that optimism. So it's kind of like we have a mix between extreme optimism, which is Jupiter, and like this dark kind of cynical energy, which is Pluto. So it's like, it's the ultimate in light and dark energy. You can kind of look at that as like a balance of forces. I really believe this year is the year of balance, you guys. There's so many things taking place as far as transits go that have to deal with balance. We're coming upon a Libra full moon this month. And then Venus is going retrograde in Gemini, the signs of the twins, yin and yang. So there's a lot of balancing of forces, I feel, going on. So all of these conjunctions taking place, Saturn and Pluto, Jupiter and Pluto, it's like we're balancing things out is what's happening. And I think that's why it looks a little bit chaotic. But sometimes, and see, that's the dichotomy of it all. It's like when you're trying to balance everything out, sometimes it could be a little bit chaotic. So I don't want you guys to be alarmed or afraid. I'm going to have my citrine wand throughout this. Okay, but I don't want you guys to be afraid. Hey, Bree. Or of anything that's going on. I believe that everything is going on for our highest good. And the reason why I want to teach the Jupiter frequency class, you guys, is because right now with everything that we have going on, it is of the utmost importance that we stay plugged in to the Jupiter frequency. Hold on. It is very important that we stay plugged into the Jupiter frequency, you guys. We got to keep our frequency high. We got to stay in 5D, okay? Because 3D is breaking down right now. Obviously, that's what's going on. And we got to detach from the material, you guys. That's the only way that we're going to make it through is if we detach from the material world, because the material world is crumbling as we know it. That's what Pluto is doing right now in Capricorn. Is tearing down everything that we know. So of course, if we stay stuck down in that frequency, we're going to think that we're being destroyed. We're going to think that we're the ones that are getting torn apart, but it's not directed at us. It's directed at this old system that's falling. So don't get yourself intermingled into that. This is why we need to ascend to 5D so we can be on the Jupiter frequency looking down at all this madness like, damn, that's messed up. Like, too bad they're not on this high frequency where we are, where we can clearly see what's going on. We can clearly see that there's a divine purpose behind this. And we can clearly see the big picture rather than getting caught down in the small details. This is Jupiter in Virgo, Jupiter in Gemini, kind of getting caught in the small little details of things, but not looking at the grand big picture. That's why I think that what is going on right now, guys, it's very important to keep that higher perspective, which is the Jupiter frequency. The Jupiter frequency is to look at things holistically. And not, of course, if you're going to watch the news, right, the media, which is very Gemini, it's just putting out all this information and you're just listening to it and absorbing it. And some of it is true and some of it is false. Okay, you don't even know what's real. You don't even know what's fake. And if you get caught up in that tsunami, it'll take you right down with it. So that's why we're staying on the Jupiter frequency. We are detaching ourselves from the 3D, right? And we're going up into that higher dimension where we know that we create our reality, right? And things are not happening to us, but things are happening for us. See, there's a difference. So having that high perspective and not getting caught up in the chaos that's going on down here, but to stay with the healthy perspective, okay? So I need to share my screen. Now, what was taking me so long to come on here was I was not sure if it was sharing my screen the proper way. Okay, hold on, let me see. Ooh. Okay, hold on. Okay, so you guys are gonna have to tell me if you guys can see my screen or is it doing that weird tunnel thing? Let me know in the chat, you guys. Are you guys able to see my screen? Or is it doing that weird thing? Let me know in the chat. Because if it is, Houston, we got a problem. Okay. Houston, we got a problem. Can you see it clear? Or is it a tunnel? Okay, it's kind of a tunnel. You can see it fine. Okay, so can you see the Jupiter frequency class slide presentation? Can you see that? It was good before it went away. I see a tunnel. Okay, yeah, because when I go back here, this is where you guys see the tunnel. But when I go here, let me know when I'm here. Let me know when I'm here if you guys can still see me over in the corner and if you could see the presentation that's on my screen. That's what I need to know. I need to know if you guys can see me over in the corner and if you guys can see this presentation of slides that I have here. That's what I need to know. And it's going to switch back over to the tunnel vision right now because I'm about to go back. So we can see you in presentation. Yes, you in the presentation is perfect. Okay, you and screen. Okay, so now we're back to tunnel. Okay, we're back to tunnel. Let me see, stop screen sharing. Okay, cool. I just need to know that it worked. So, all right. Now, before we get into the presentation, let's talk about 2020 vision, right? Because we're in the 2020 vision. And vision actually has a lot to deal with Jupiter. Jupiter is the vision, like literally, you guys. And I didn't even put this together until literally today, right? So when we talk about Jupiter in accordance with astrology, we are going to be talking about Jupiter as rulership over Sagittarius and Pisces, because really, on the real, Jupiter rules both signs. Okay, so you could think of Jupiter and Sagittarius as external Jupiter, daytime Jupiter, and Jupiter ruling Pisces as internal, feminine Jupiter, nighttime Jupiter. Okay, but it's still the same. If you really think about Pisces and Sagittarius, they're literally the same energy. And it's literally Jupiter, because Jupiter and Pisces is the expansion of the inner life, right? That's why you have all these crazy dreams. And it's almost like you're going deeper into yourself. But both signs, both Sagittarius and Pisces, are about vision, the vision quest. When we think about Sagittarius, it's that higher vision. That's why a symbol for Sagittarius I see as like the all-seeing eye, because it's like, it's about having that vision and being able to see far off, right? That's why it's the Sagittarius is the arrow, the bow and arrow, being able to see far off into the distance and shoot your arrow toward what it is that you want to see, because you have to have vision. That's what Sagittarius is. Seeing the bigger picture is having vision. And then Pisces takes it more on a psychic level, you guys. And it's no coincidence that this Mercury and Pisces transit that we've been having going on, I feel has been increasing our psychic abilities, you guys. Like, I've been having visions like crazy. And I normally have visions, but I didn't really know that's what it was until this whole Mercury retrograde and Pisces thing. So I'm like, okay, now I'm really starting to understand this 2020 vision thing. Like, it's like, this year is a very strong Jupiter frequency. And it's interesting because Jupiter is supposed to be in the sign of its fall, which is Capricorn. But Jupiter is acting very, very powerfully this year. I don't know. It's something about Jupiter's energy. I mean, today proves that Jupiter is on 10. The 444 frequency, you know, the Jupiter conjunct Pluto. Like, Jupiter's playing a very important role in these world events that's going on. What's going on right now wouldn't even be happening if Jupiter wasn't in Capricorn, expanding all this stuff and also making us be able to see through it, the 2020 vision, right? We're seeing clear now, clear seeing. So I feel like the 2020 vision definitely has to deal with the Jupiter frequency from both the external, which is Sagittarius, and both the internal, which is Pisces. And Pisces energy has been very important because, like I said, with the Mercury and Pisces, Mercury is the lower mind. And it's interesting because all this is supposed to be the detriment energy, right? It's like Jupiter's in detriment in Capricorn, or it's in fall. And then Mercury is in fall and Pisces as well. But it's like we're getting all of these. I feel like we're getting a lot of major breakthroughs through these energies. So that's why I really don't want you guys to look at, don't put too much overemphasis on like detriments and exaltations, even though exaltations are definitely real. I feel like with the detriment, it's like every planetary placement has its place and has something to teach us, because even though I do not like Mercury and Pisces for daily work, getting things done, it's really good for the spiritual vision. Okay, because let me tell you, my third eye has been on fire, and I've been noticing anybody that I've been speaking to, their psychic powers have been increasing. People have been having prophetic dreams. People have been having more waking visions. I know the visions have been very strong for me. So we're starting to tap in, right? And we're starting to see deeper. That's that 2020 vision that we're in. So that's totally something that is a thing. Okay, so we're gonna get ready to get into the slides. First, I kind of want to talk about me being on the Jupiter frequency with even teaching this class. So earlier this year, you guys know I'm a Capricorn moon, right? And usually Capricorns, we like to plan everything out to a T, right? We like to have a structure. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. But I've been getting very turned off by that lately, right? And I just been like, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to just go with the flow. I'm just going to live in the moment, and like whatever comes up, whatever the people need to hear, that's going to be what they need to hear in the moment. So I've been connecting more with inspiration in the moment and kind of just living in the now. Even with this class, you guys, of course, I have outline slides, things I want to talk about, but I was like, I'm not gonna like structure it to the T like I usually do, because that doesn't leave room for the magic, right? That doesn't leave room for the inspiration to come in, which inspiration is in the here and now. It happens randomly, right? It's like when you're feeling it and you're just in the spirit, it's like there's a flow that just happens and it just keeps going. It's like water, right? which is why Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, which is why Jupiter is the nighttime ruler of Pisces. So Jupiter is actually very, very connected to water energy. And it is what makes it different from the other fire signs. Because Jupiter in alchemy its properties are hot and moist, okay? So it's kind of like a fire and water situation with Jupiter, you guys. Jupiter deals a lot with the intuition. And a lot of people do not know this. I think all fire signs deal with intuition, but Sagittarius especially deals with intuition. But it deals on acting on that intuition. This is why it's exalted in Cancer, because Cancer has strong intuition, but Cancer doesn't always act on its intuitions. And that's what the problem is. It's kind of like Cancer has all this deep insight to the universe, but they don't act on it because they're so reserved and they're so observant. To where Jupiter has the intuition, but Jupiter also has the balls to act on its intuition. And this is what makes it so powerful, because it's both sides of the spectrum. So when we're dealing with hot in alchemy, we're dealing with the spirit. That's another name for the spirit, hot, right? Like, for instance, like Saturn is cold and dry. That's Saturn's modality, cold and dry. Jupiter's is hot and moist, right? So we're dealing with hot, that's the spirit, but moist, that's bringing in that water element, mixing it with the intuition. So like spirit with intuition, right? Which is essentially what gives you wisdom. So this is why Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, because Jupiter, like, in order to be a teacher, because Jupiter is a teacher, in order to be a teacher, you have to have strong intuition and you have to be connected with that part of yourself, because teaching has a lot to deal with inspiration, and just like speaking in the moment, like from your heart. That's really what it has to deal with. And I feel like I'm really tapped into that energy because I have Sun in Cancer in the 9th house, conjunct my Mars in Cancer in the 9th house. So I definitely know the merging of that Jupiter energy and that Cancer energy, because I feel like you can't be really a good teacher unless you have strong intuition. They gotta go hand in hand. And Jupiter is known as the teacher, but it's also teaching in a nurturing way. So we're talking about transitioning out of the Saturn and Mars frequencies to the Jupiter frequency. I know better than anybody else. I used to be very, very stuck in the Saturn frequency. The Saturn frequency is extra cautious, which you need sometimes, but the Saturn frequency is about doing everything the hard way. Saturn is very, very stuck in the material, okay? And Jupiter is above the material plane. So I used to be somebody that would feel like I had to plan every single step out that I was going to do. And I had to have everything in place, and I couldn't have one thing out of place. Like there had to be a plan for everything, right? But what I realized was that, why do I feel like I need to plan every single thing out? Because I'm fearful. That's the real reason why. I don't have enough trust in the universe to think that the universe is going to carry me through whatever situation that I'm going through. I don't have enough flow in my life. This is why Capricorn opposes Cancer. I don't have enough flow in my life to live in the moment and just trust that the answers are going to come to me at the right time. I don't have enough of that. So I feel like I have to control every aspect of what happens so I can make sure it happens, instead of just letting it go and trust that the universe has my best interest at heart, and I'm going to be led to the right place at the right time. So this is why Jupiter has a lot to deal with faith. Like, you have to have faith in the universe to tap into the Jupiter frequency. If you're too stuck in the material, it's going to be very, very hard for you to detach and have that trust that the universe is going to lead you to where it is, to where it needs to lead you. Okay, and that's what Jupiter is about, because Jupiter has a lot to deal with going with the flow. That's why it has so much connection with the water energy. And it's about having that trust that the universe brought me this far. I wouldn't be in this position if I'm not supposed to be in this position. So let me just trust and just wait on the inspiration that's going to come in the moment, and let me just act off that inspiration. And I know that takes a lot of faith to do. And I know a lot of people that are stuck, that can sound very, very scary for you. But once you start risk taking and you just kind of start suspending yourself out here in the universe to kind of be used as a vessel, you really realize that there's really nothing to fear. And then you also realize that you waste a lot of energy trying to stay in the Saturn frequency. This is why Mars is exalted in Capricorn. Mars is exalted in Capricorn because when you're working hard trying to control everything, you're overexerting your energy. It's like you're not letting the universe step in and do its part in your life. You think that you're alone. You think that you don't have any support. And so you think that you have to do everything on your own, which means that you don't have a connection to the universe. In a nutshell, that's what it translates over to. You don't have a connection with the universe. You don't have a connection with God. Like the universe, God, Jupiter, it's all kind of the same energy, because Jupiter represents the higher mind, the super conscious. So, you know, when we're stuck in that Saturn frequency, it's this thing where it's like you got everything's on your shoulders. You're way down, you're heavy. You have to think about how to fix everything. Everything is just on you. You don't have no help. You don't have no support, right? But when you're on the Jupiter frequency, it's kind of like you live a carefree life. And I know that's very scary for a lot of people, you guys. I know it's scary, but this is Pisces energy. This is why Pisces is about surrendering to the flow of the universe. And you're just like, I'm just going to go wherever the current's going to take me. And it's going to catch me. It's going to lead me in the right direction. Like I'm going to end up at the right destination, right? So yeah, Jordan said the Saturn frequency is played out. It's so played out. It's so played out. Okay, so let's get into these slides because I can talk about this all night. So let's get into the slides. Let me, as long as you guys can see me. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. Okay. Now, these slides, all of them are not in order, okay? So keep that in mind. Hold on. Okay. Oh, one more thing I wanted to mention really quick about Jupiter being a fire sign. And you know how all fire signs have to deal with confidence, right? So Jupiter's confidence is more about confidence in the universe rather than confidence in the self. I look at Jupiter and I look at Leo as being like more confident in yourself and your creative ability and your artistic abilities. But Jupiter is more, it's confidence in the universe. Like I know if I jump, the universe is going to catch me. I know if I take this risk, everything's going to work itself out. Everything's going to be okay. It's having that type of mindset. And that's why Jupiter really comes down to your belief systems, you guys. Jupiter is all about your belief systems. And most people don't even know what their belief systems are. Like they don't even have a clue, that they think that they live in a scary universe where nothing ever works out in their favors. It's like you really got to get to your core beliefs, which we're going to get to later in this. So characteristics of Jupiter: having an expansive mindset, right? Seeing possibilities everywhere, knowing that the answer to whatever you are going through already exists. Now, this is something, what I'm telling you about this needs to go into your core belief subconscious memory bank, okay? Or your superconscious memory bank, okay? The answer, the solution to whatever it is that you're going through already exists in the universe, okay? Why? Because the universe is expansive. Why? Because this is not the first time that the universe has had to solve a problem like yours. Why? Because there's opportunities everywhere if you really look for them and if you have the mindset that the answer is out here. I just need to find it, or I just need to wait for it to flow into my life, right? So having that expansive mindset of not feeling or not being limited, like you don't have any options. Jupiter frequency is all about having options, okay? Being open to life in the universe. This is a huge one, you guys. A lot of people, and I've talked about this before, a lot of people are very closed off. They're closed off to the universe. I'm not just talking about closed off to people. Being closed off to people is just one aspect of it. And again, that comes from fear. Everything, when it's broken down to its most simplest form, is very, very simple. Every little thing that seems complex and stuff is just broken down simplicity. It's because of fear. That's it. There's nothing else. That's all. So being open to life in the universe, that's how opportunities come to you, by you being open. I always say, you don't know how the universe is trying to bring you what you want. So you need to be open. This is why Jupiter rules being jovial, like, you know, being happy, not being happy like in a fake way, but just being open to people, being open to situations, being open to what is being presented in front of your face, because you never know how that solution is trying to make its way to you, or you never know what gifts the universe is trying to give you. Because gifts, when we're dealing with the Jupiter frequency, gifts with Jupiter, I feel, are very intangible. Of course, it's blessings, it's wisdom, it's knowledge, it's experience. Those are the type of blessings that Jupiter gives, rather than tangible. I know they teach you guys that like Jupiter rules like wealth and kind of like having a lot of material. I don't like when they make Jupiter material, because I don't feel like Jupiter is material. I feel like Jupiter is the non-material gifts and assets, whereas Venus, I feel, is the earthly gifts. But Jupiter is like spiritual gifts, okay? So yeah, you got to be open to the universe, life in general, in order for the opportunities to come to you. Like I said, if you're energetically closed off, the solutions are never going to come to you, partially because of your beliefs. And the other part is because you're not open to new things. You're not open to new opportunities, which Jupiter has a lot to deal with, being open to new opportunities that come your way, especially trying things that you've never tried before, which is huge expansion, and which is what you want to do. Because I swear, the more things that you do that you've never done before, those things can change your life so much. So taking necessary risks, okay? So risk taking, you got to take the leap. That's why they call it a leap of faith. Faith is one of the main words used to describe Jupiter. Okay, so taking necessary risks, you guys, when you feel it in your intuition. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, you guys. This is what you need to understand. Jupiter is not like Aries. And I'm not trying to get down on Aries or Mars, but it's like, it doesn't just like take hasty actions. It's like it takes actions after stepping in, checking in with its intuition first. So it's like, take those necessary risks, you guys, those risks that you know, like your intuition is telling you that you need to do this, or there's something on the other side of the fence for you after this. When you feel that, Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, you guys. When you feel it in your heart and you're like, I just need to do this, even if you don't have all the answers. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to have the plan. And that's what I've been experiencing in my life, is life has actually been turning out better for me not having a plan. And it's actually been quite miraculous how it's been happening. But it's like, the more I don't have a plan, the more things turn out in my favor. It's crazy, right? So taking those necessary risks, you guys, just going for it. Okay. And when you go for it, just remember to stay in the flow. As long as you stay in the flow, everything will be all good, because you will receive inspiration in the moment. That's how Jupiter frequency works. It's like, you don't know the plan, but in the moment when you need to take the next action, the inspiration is just going to come to you for what it is that you're supposed to do. So again, the Jupiter frequency is plugged in with faith, you guys, just faith. and not needing to know all the answers. Okay, so you gotta learn to let go a little bit. Having a strong belief in benevolence. Okay, so having strong belief in the good. Again, this doesn't translate over into actual people, because I know some people are evil, some people don't have good intentions. So that's not what I'm talking about. But it's like, do you even still believe in good things happening? Like, do you even still believe in the good? Like, some people have become so cynical that they don't even believe in the good anymore. But again, this could be a part of your hidden beliefs that you don't even know, like, until you question yourself and ask yourself, like, wait a second, do I really think that? And then it's like, oh, you realize you have more negative beliefs than what you really think. You know what I'm saying? And those negative beliefs run your life. They run your life because they determine what's possible for you and what's not possible for you. Belief is everything. I know they make it seem like belief is juvenile and it's stupid and you're delusional. Like, when you take it to the Pisces side, it can be delusional. But I feel like with Sagittarius, it's more about belief, like in the universe type thing. So characteristics of Jupiter: having powerful influence over others. So spreading the good cheer amongst everybody, spreading the good energy, because what happens is when you spread good energy amongst other people, that energy gets multiplied and it comes back to you in other forms. So just kind of like remembering to be to be nice, you know, but not in a fake way, because you guys know I don't like superficial stuff, but to, you know, when you spread that good energy to other people, in a nutshell, it comes back to you. Okay. The superconscious mind rising above earth or earthly concerns. Okay. So that's the characteristics of Jupiter. We're far up in the superconscious. We don't have time to be worried. These earthly concerns will get taken care of. It's going to work itself out naturally. I don't need to stress about these things. And again, your belief runs your entire consciousness program. So if that's what you believe, then so it is. And that's really how this universe works. So a lot of people need to work on their belief systems, especially people that have like Saturn and Sagittarius. These people can really struggle with their belief system, what their beliefs are. And your beliefs can be very, very unconscious. So you really have to make them conscious. Very important. Okay, so let's get into the astrology aspects of, oh, you know what I wanted to do. Let me see. I wanted to talk a little bit. Let me talk about the exaltations, fall, and detriment. Just so we can understand this basic understanding in astrology. So the day ruler of Jupiter is Sagittarius, which I think of Sagittarius as more of like a global energy, having global impact, because we have to remember that Sagittarius is a global, it's a big energy. Jupiter in general is a big energy. It's the biggest planet in the solar system. So when you have big energy, you have a lot of influence, right? There's a lot of people that come into your sphere of influence. You cover a lot of space. You cover a lot of people. You attract a lot of minds to you, because again, Mercury is the lower mind and Jupiter is the higher mind. So Jupiter can actually have a lot of minds following under its ideas. Jupiter is that energy of a person that puts out an idea. It's kind of like TikTok. You know how somebody will go on TikTok and they'll come up with a dance or whatever, and then next thing you know, the whole world's doing the dance. That is the Jupiter frequency, okay? Your influence reaches out across the globe, okay? And it happens fast, because when we're talking about expansion, Jupiter's expansion happens quick. It's not a slow energy. Jupiter's not a slow energy. So it's like those people that become a global phenomenon, like overnight. And it's like, you went from being this small to like this big person with all this influence. And what it's about is that your ideas multiplying amongst the masses. Okay, and we're going to get into this with the publishing when I talk about Jupiter ruling publishing and distribution and things like that, because it can have a lot to deal with the music industry too. Because generally what Jupiter is about is your ideas getting out to the world. So you having a mental influence on the world. That's what it's about. Okay. And in a sense, really controlling the consciousness on the planet. That's really what Jupiter is. Okay. So with Sagittarius is global influence, traveling fire. I really love the traveling fire thing, because when I did, and let me just check in with you guys real quick. Okay, cool. Okay. Oops. Oops. Man. So, where the heck was I at? Okay. So, Jupiter is the traveling fire, which I call AKA the traveling inspiration. So this is about, again, you reaching people across the world, you having influence in places that you didn't even think that you can have influence. You have an influence on little kids in India. You have an influence on little kids in Africa. You having influence, you know what I mean, in parts of the world that you haven't even visited yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's about being able to reach very, very far, having a far reach. Okay. And you can do that more easily now than ever with the internet, right? So that's what Jupiter is about. Okay. Making a global impact. Now, the night ruler with Pisces, this is getting into surrender to the universe, go with the flow, vision, and faith, right? We know that that's what Pisces is, having that faith in the universe, going with the flow, surrendering your will to what the universe wants you to do. You want for yourself what the universe wants for you, because you know the universe has higher wisdom. You know the universe is smarter than you. And you know overall, because you believe in a benevolent universe, that the universe wants what's best for you, right? And again, this is going to go back to the core belief that the universe is benevolent, which we're going to get to in a minute. You have to have that core belief in order for the Jupiter frequency to work. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Being on the Jupiter frequency is kind of like having God and angels on your side all the time, like always looking out for your best interest. But you have to believe in it just as much as it believes in you. If you don't have no belief in it, then it's not going to work for you, you know? So, and it has a lot to do with beliefs. Again, I'm going to keep on talking about beliefs because this is what Jupiter is about. And when you think about it, that makes it actually very easy, because it's like, oh, you mean to tell me all I have to do is believe in it and I'll have all this stuff? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm telling you. Why? Because Pisces rules the imagination. Y'all know that got Pisces energy. Pisces rules the imagination. So you got to use that imagination for manifestation, for ritual. And this is why Pisces is so powerful, dealing with that belief, because really Pisces is how you manifest stuff. You manifest stuff through your imagination, through your vision, your inner vision. That's how you manifest what it is that you want. If you're just going by the physical world, you'll never manifest anything that you desire, because you'll just be looking at your physical world like, this is my reality, right? Capricorn, Saturn. This is my reality, and I'm never going to go anywhere past this. Like, I'm just going to stay stuck here, and this is just going to be my life. No, you got to start getting to work. You got to start believing. You got to start having ritual. You got to get into the law of attraction. And it's basically tapping into your magic. Sagittarius, Pisces, that's tapping into your magic. Okay. But it's also about having that vision. Vision is very powerful. 20/20 vision. So exaltation. Okay. It's exalted in Cancer. Reflecting on experiences grant wisdom. So we know Jupiter is the ruler of wisdom, right? And Cancer is basically the unconscious mind. It's about reflecting on your experiences. We know Jupiter rules experiences. So reflecting on your experiences and coming to a higher understanding about why certain things happen to you, why you needed to learn certain lessons, this and that, making it make sense, okay, from a spiritual perspective. The nurturing teacher is how I look at Jupiter exalted in Cancer. So the person that can teach people through their intuition, but can also have that soft nurturing approach when it comes to teaching. And again, Jupiter is very tied into the intuition. It's kind of like also like when you're in a dire situation and you know that this is not the life that you're supposed to live. I know because I've been there before, okay? When you just know in your heart, you're like, I didn't come here for this. Like, I didn't come here to work this 9-to-5 job and like not be happy. I didn't come here to be in this situation. So it's like knowing that in your intuition and then taking action to change that situation. That's why intuition is so important with this. And let's talk about fall and detriment. So it falls in Capricorn. Capricorn, again, wants to structure everything ahead of time. And then I always say, like, when you plan everything out, you can't leave room for magic. Okay. And if you can't leave room for magic, your life is just going to be dry, right? That's Saturn. And don't get me wrong, I love Saturn, but we're talking about Saturn in contrast to Jupiter right now. And, you know, there's not going to be no mutableness, no room to move around. That's why Jupiter likes being in Cancer, because it got space to move around in the ocean. It doesn't like operating in like the limitations, because Jupiter doesn't like to believe that it doesn't have opportunity, that it doesn't have chances. Jupiter's always going to believe that it has some type of chance to get out of the situation that it's in. You know what I mean? It doesn't just accept reality. It's like, nah, this can't be life. This can't be life. Like, this is not what I signed up for. Like, I got to find a way out. You know? And then most importantly, the Capricorn vibration is a mistrust in the universe. That's why you feel like you have to do everything yourself without any help. You feel like you're alone, right? The lonely goat, but you're not alone. That's the thing. You're not alone. So you got to work on your trust with the universe. A lot of people, they think that they have trust issues with like relationships, or they think they have trust issues like with people, but really your real mistrust is with the universe. You don't trust the universe, because if you trusted the universe, you would know like the universe wants to bring you somebody that's good for you. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. So it's like trust issues. People that have trust issues have issues with the relationship with the universe in which they live. They don't think that it's a benevolent place. And that can be because of past experiences. You could have had a lot of past experiences and things, but just think of it as those bad experiences happen at a time where you weren't conscious. You weren't awakened to your power. But now that you know your power, you can't let those past experiences control what you're doing in the here and now, because now you know who you are. Now you know what your capabilities are. So you can't let your past situations, this is why Jupiter don't give a damn about the past, but Jupiter does take from past experiences and grows from it. That's why it's exalted in Cancer, but it also doesn't stay stuck there, because Jupiter is a very progressive energy. And then it's in detriment in Virgo and Gemini. Focus on the small, minute, excessive worry, and just can't see the bigger picture, can't see the vision, right? It's too stuck on, well, how are we going to get there? You know, Jupiter can be the vision, like I have a vision for this to happen. And if you stay on the Jupiter frequency, you stick with your vision, and then you take action when you are inspired to take action. And then that's how you get to your vision and manifest it, right? That's with Pisces and Sag. But with Virgo, especially Virgo and Gemini, it's like, okay, what steps are we going to take? It's like, okay, what steps are we going to take to get there? Like point A, we're going to go here and do this. Point B, we're going to go here and do this. But do you recognize, I feel like with the earth energy, sometimes it's like taking the long way. Jupiter like tries to show you shortcuts. Like, this is how you can get there quicker. Like, you can get there quicker by through the higher mind and like believing and like manifesting the path for yourself, rather than having to take the slow, long route of like doing it freaking step by step. It's like there's quicker ways. This is why Jupiter rules fast expansion, you guys. It's like, phew. You know who I always associate with Jupiter expansion is Cardi B. Okay. You see how Cardi B, let me bring up the slide for you guys. It's not a slide of her, but it's okay. So Cardi B is the perfect example of a Jupitarian expansion. She literally went from rags to riches. Like she went from being a stripper in the strip club to being on Love and Hip Hop to being this huge mega star that had all of this global influence. You see how fast her global presence spread amongst the earth? That is the perfect example of a Jupiterian expansion. That's exactly what it is. It's like it can be overnight. And sometimes it's not overnight, but sometimes you can knock out a whole bunch of levels like really quick. So you can go to one level and then boom, shoot to the next, then boom, shoot to the next. And then next thing you know, your life is like totally changed, right? So let's talk about this expansion, right? Taking your life to the next level. Now, everybody usually knows there's levels to this shift, right? The shift of your life. Now, I do notice with certain astrological energies that, okay, everybody has a pace to their life, right? Everybody has a pace to their life where it's like, you go through some things, you learn some things, you have some experiences, which is Jupiter. And once you get tired experiencing that, then you move on to the next level. You have some experience on that floor or level of life. You keep doing it until you get tired of that, and then you move to the next level. But some people never move to the next level. Like they literally just stay stuck in the same level like their whole life. They don't ever expand. Why? Because they're afraid. They're terrified. Oh my gosh, so many people are terrified of expansion. It's very, very scary to them. Why? Because you're jumping into a brand new experience that you don't have no experience with. You've never been here before. This is why you kind of have to have a love for adventure to be in the Jupiter frequency. You do have to be an adventurous person, not a reckless person, but an adventurous person. Like, ooh, I want to see, it should excite you. Ooh, I want to see what life is like doing that. Like, I want to see who I am in that type of environment. You know what I mean? So you have to be curious and you have to be experimental. You know, Jupiter is an experimental energy. If you don't like to experiment, if you don't want to see yourself like in a different vibration, like I want to know who I am in that vibration, surrounded by those types of people and that type of energy. You know, you have to want a need for it. Some people do just like staying in the same place, but I do believe that one of our missions in life is to grow as a soul. Like, duh, that's why we came here. We came here to grow through different levels, because I believe that life is like a university or a school. You go to a certain classroom, you learn everything from that class, you graduate from that class, and then you go to the next grade. This is why Jupiter is the teacher, but Jupiter is the teacher of the universe. It's a universal teacher. That's why Jupiter is like, okay, you passed that class. Let's take you to fourth grade now. Like fourth grade, ooh, it's a little bit harder. You have a little bit more homework. You have more challenges. This is why they tell you guys new levels is new devils. New level, new devil. Yeah, because you have new challenges at every level that you go to. Every time that your energy expands, there's new obstacles that you have to face. But for Jupiter frequency, you're excited about those challenges. You're not fearful or scared. Like, oh, I'm getting ready to go to the next level of life and I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know. I'm scared. I'm going into the unknown. You know, then it's like you're stuck in the Saturn frequency. You know, it's like you're very scared. And a lot of people like don't want to admit how scared they are of expansion. It really scares you. Like a lot of you guys think that it's just because, oh, I don't have no money. Oh, I'm broke. Oh, I'm this, oh, I'm that. But it's like, that's more of an excuse for the real fear. And the real fear is that you are fearful of the expansion of your life. You're fearful of the new you that has to show up at that new level of life that exhibits growth, because Jupiter is about growth. This is why it's exalted in Cancer. I'm going to say it a million times, but literally because Cancer is about the growth of the baby in a womb. So you have to be ready to grow. Arden, can you get my lip gloss for me out of there? Because my lips are going to dry. And my purse right there. So you got to be ready to grow when it's time to grow. Do you think when a baby is in its mom's womb, which a baby is in a mom's womb for 9 months, and 9 is the number of Jupiter, one of the numbers, which I'm going to get to in a minute, gestation, and we know Cancer rules gestation. Do you think when that baby's in that womb, that baby's like, hold on, I'm not ready to grow to be 5 months. Can we slow this down a little bit? It's like, no, it's time. It's time. So I think Jupiter frequency is about recognizing when you've outgrown the circumstances in your life and when it's time to go to the next level. Like, this is kind of like triggering for me right now, even saying this, because I'm like thinking like in the back of my head while I'm talking to you guys, I'm like, there is a couple things that I've outgrown in my life, and it's like, it's time to move on. But we can be like that baby in the womb that's lazy and like doesn't want to be born yet, doesn't want to leave mama's womb, basically doesn't want to leave your comfort zone, right? But what's outside of your comfort zone is something more challenging for you. It is more challenging, but it's also more exciting. It's like you got to move with the level of your consciousness. When your consciousness expands, your life needs to expand with it. Okay. Otherwise, you're going to be feeling very cramped. So this is why I have these houses here, you guys, on the side of the presentation, because this is what I'm trying to show you. You know, it's like being in a house, right? And you're stuck in one room. You're stuck in one bedroom. You've been living in that room for a while now. And you decide like, okay, it's getting cramped in here. Like, it's getting cramped. I'm getting a whole bunch more stuff. Like, I can't even fit I got clothes piled up to the ceiling. Like, I'm getting a little big for this area, you know? So it's going to be time now. You don't know what's outside the bedroom door. Okay. And this is the unknown. You don't know what's outside. You heard maybe possibly there's some monsters out there. You heard maybe there's some responsibility out there that you don't want to take, because look, a lot of it has to deal with also, because we're talking about what's in the subconscious. A lot of you don't want to take responsibility for what's on the next level of life too. And that's why you don't want to grow. But it's all fear though. So it's like, what's on the other side of the door, whatever. You open the door and you realize, oh, this is like a whole apartment building. Like, oh, now I have more space to move around. I have more space to explore, which is a Jupiter, because it's like, why do you want to keep repeating the same experiences over and over again? Don't you want some new experiences? This is what expansion is about. Opening up your life to new experiences. Like, if you're having the same experiences day in and day out, then your consciousness isn't growing at that point. Your consciousness is not growing. And Jupiter is all about the expansion of your consciousness. This is why you travel to different countries and different cultures, and you're in a culture shock. You're like in a place that you've never been before, and you're like, hold on, now I got to learn how to function over here. This is new. This is different. But for me, that type of thing is really exciting. I'm like, oh, I'm somewhere I've never been before, and it gives me all this new, fresh energy. But for some people, it's very, very scary, and I understand that. But everything that you're going to learn, like, you really got to love being thrown into new situations, because that's the only time that you really learn for yourself, like firsthand, on the job experience. Okay. Like, oh shit, I'm in a new environment. Like, I don't know, but let me figure this out. Like, let me do something, like, you know, and then you figure it out as you go. And then as you start doing it, you start getting further and further along. Then you start realizing, like, damn, I actually like this. Like, this was a cool little experience. Like, I'm glad I did it. I was scared at first, But I'm glad I did it, because if I didn't do it, I wouldn't know what it is that I know now. Okay, knowledge, experience, wisdom. This is what Jupiter's about. So anyways, like I said, continuing to grow, not becoming stagnant. Okay, so knowing when you have grown too big for that small ass house that you've been living in. It's like you got too much stuff, aka experience, under your belt to be sitting in that same small house. Like, you need more space. That's why I put knowing you need more space to move around. You need more space to grow. You need more people to come in contact with. It's like, you know, you need different experiences, because that's really what makes us grow as an individual. So you move into a little bigger house, and then you just keep going. You keep going. You keep moving into bigger spaces, okay, in life. And that's what the Jupiter frequency. And it's about challenging yourself too. Because don't think that it's not a challenge. It's a challenge, you know. But there should be something, see, even when I'm thinking about it, I'm like excited, but I don't know if that's just my ninth house. My Mars in the ninth house, but I'm like, you should be excited about a new challenge coming your way. Why? Because you're not in danger. And this is where going back, it's always going to circle back on the same principle. What are your beliefs? Do you believe that you live in a benevolent universe? Let me bring up the slide. Okay, here we go. So you live in a benevolent universe has to be the core belief. This is the only way that you feel comfortable exploring, right? It's kind of like a baby being in, I don't know, a playpen or wanting to crawl around the house or something like that. A kid's not gonna want, or a baby's not gonna want to explore unless they feel safe in their environment, right? Unless their mom is there, they know their mom is there. Which you look at the universe as being a parent. That's how people look at the universe, as being a parent or God or whatever you want to call it. A baby's not going to feel comfortable exploring a new environment unless it feels safe. Okay. So you're not going to want to take risks. You're not going to want to discover something new unless you feel safe. So then this is the main reason why Jupiter ties into Cancer. Because what is Cancer about? Inner emotional security. If you don't have inner emotional security, it's going to be really hard for you to take risks in life, because you don't feel secure. Okay. And then that's crazy how I said, like, you ain't going to want to do nothing unless your mom's there, right? And Cancer rules the mother, and Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. So put two and two together, you know, connecting to that feminine energy of knowing that you're safe, knowing that you're loved, and knowing that, most importantly, you're here to play. You're here to play. You're here to experience new things. And you don't have to be afraid of that. Even if you fail, like, you don't have to be afraid of that either, because with the Jupiter frequency, it's kind of like experience is just experience. You know what I mean? It's not really judged as, oh, this is good, this is bad. It's just kind of like an experience is an experience. And it was a cool experience. I learned a lot in the process. Even if you get your heart broke, I learned a lot. I learned what not to do in my next relationship, right? And then you kind of just keep it pushing, because you don't ever let anyone or anything steal your life. You know in your heart there's more experiences to be found. You know the universe isn't going to have you out here hanging and single and lonely for the rest of your life. It's like, no, more experiences to be had. Like, let me just go on to the next thing. Okay? So that's how you need to look at that there. Now, okay, so talking about exalted in Cancer, let's go back there. Now, Jupiter being exalted in Cancer, Jupiter is connected with wisdom and intuition. Now, I want you guys to look at this symbol, because we do deal with alchemy here. And let me fix this. There we go. Sorry, guys. It's like getting a little darker. Okay, so let's look, and ooh, you guys really need to pay attention to, let me go to the chat really, really quick before I get into this, because I just want to make sure you guys good, or if I need to answer any questions. Yes, fear is an illusion, you guys. Okay, cool. Okay, you guys enjoying it? Okay, cool. So anyways, let's go back. Okay. So let's understand this. And I really want you guys to really pay attention to the symbols or the sigils of the planets in alchemy or just in astrology, because it really shows you what the heck is going on. Okay. So with the symbol of Jupiter, which I find like it's crazy that it's like literally a 4. It's the moon. You see that crescent over there to the left? It's the moon, which is the unconscious, the imagination, the intuition, plus the earth, which is the cross. Okay, the cross of matter is what they call it, which we have all been sacrificed on the cross of matter by just even have to incarnate on this earth. Okay, we've been nailed to the cross, which is the cross of damn matter, which we got to carry this heavy load where we have to be humans to deal with this density and all this BS. Okay, but look at that crescent, y'all. That crescent is above the cross of matter. It's above it. And it's also facing, they say it's facing to the east, okay, which I find that very interesting. That is facing to the east. I need to look deeper into that too. But you see, it's basically a crescent moon and a cross of matter. If you really dissect it, if you look, it's a crescent moon and a cross of matter. Now look at that crescent moon. Okay, that crescent moon is over there to the edge. It's not fucking with the cross of matter. It's like, no, boo, you ain't about to capture me up under your, you ain't about to capture me up under your negativity, and you ain't about to bring me down, and you ain't about to have me crossed up and confused. Okay, the intuition is free, it's running wild, and the moon is also your inner child, you guys. This is the most important. So Jupiter being exalted in Cancer means your inner child is free to do what it wants to do. What does our inner child enjoy doing? Exploration. Is this not what kids do all the time? Let's go explore. I know I used to do it all the time as a kid. Let's go explore. Let's go find something new. Let's play. Let's discover some things, right? So the moon is above the cross of matter. The moon, our inner child, is not being weighed down by earthly concerns. This is the way that it is supposed to be. And this is the way that it is in 5D. Okay, we're no longer weighed down by the earthly concerns. So you guys see why this class is so important for the times that we're in now, you guys. And I want you guys to keep this symbol in mind throughout this whole ordeal, not getting weighed down by what's going on in this earthly realm, but keeping your intuition high and above the cross of matter, but also keeping your inner child free from all the heaviness, because we have to protect our inner child at all costs. Okay, that's the new model. Protect your inner child at all costs. Okay, that's what we're doing. So, and that's why Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, the preservation of the inner child. Okay. The belief, right? As we were kids, what did we believe, you guys? We believed that anything was possible. We believed that we can have anything. We believed we were going to be a superstar when we grow up. We were going to have this. We were going to have that. We were going to be rich. We're going to be millionaires. We're going to be this, that, and the third. Don't ever lose that imagination, okay? Separate yourself from that heavy material. The material plays a role. It definitely plays a role in being able to show us the consequences of our actions. But that's kind of it. And if you're not making mistakes and doing stupid stuff, Saturn's not going to have to check you and make you see the consequences of your actions. You're going to get to a point where you're going to rise above that because you're going to gain wisdom. Okay. So not being weighed down by earthly concerns, rising above the mundane. Seeing beyond the mundane, acting on intuition and impulses, and having faith that it will work out. Faith, 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 faith. This is Pisces. This is Jupiter in Cancer. This is Sag. Having faith that it'll work out. and acting on your intuition. Very important, because your intuition don't ever steer you wrong, you know, but we still doubt it and we still struggle with following what the intuition tells us. Okay, so that's very, very important. I want you guys to really receive that and keep that in mind. Okay, now another thing I wanted to show you guys too about Jupiter, which I thought was interesting. When I did that painting on Jupiter, I was painting, okay, so this is crazy, you guys. This was right after Kobe Bryant's death, right? Well, it wasn't right after. It was like maybe 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks after he passed. And I was looking at it and I was like, oh my God, this looks like a 2-4, right? And I was like, this is weird. This is very strange. And then like literally yesterday, I was doing research on Jupiter and this person commented under one of the symbols for Jupiter. And they're like, and this was back in 2013. And they're like, it looks like a 2 and a 4. It looks like a 2 and a 4 together. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I put a correlation together. 2, of course, is Cancer in the intuition. And then 4 is stability and groundedness. And then 3, which is Jupiter's number, meets in the middle. It's the connecting point between the intuition and, of course, being sensible. I mean, you want to be sensible. Like I said, you don't want to risk take just to risk take. You want to be sensible in what it is that you're doing, but you also want to follow your intuition at the same time. Okay. So that's where that 3 comes in. And then let's get into Jupiter rulership. Okay. So when we get into Jupiter rulership, we have Jupiter's number is 3. Okay, 3, which is the Holy Trinity. 3 is actually my favorite number. And I really like the 369 sequence. But 3 is my favorite number. But 3 is the past, present, future, life. Wait, no, birth, life, and death. White, red, and black. It's the triple goddess. You know, the number 3 has so many meanings. And I also think, I know if you guys read traditional astrology, they'll tell you that Jupiter is a masculine planet, but I think Jupiter actually has a lot of feminine energy. Jupiter was connected with the goddess Artemis back in the day, she was an archer, and she was a goddess of the wild. She was a goddess that was free and liked to roam free and do her own thing. It couldn't be controlled. She was an androgynous goddess, androgynous meaning balanced in her masculine and feminine energy. So I think Jupiter is definitely connected with the feminine, especially being that Jupiter rules the 9th house and the 9th sign. So that's not by accident. And 9th house also rules, 9 is also a certain sense of completion. It's the highest number. It's the highest single digit number. So again, it's about reaching the pinnacle, reaching the height of something. And being able to look down. This is why another symbol for it, I think, is the all-seeing eye. Oh my God, my cat is doing something weird. I always associate it with the all-seeing eye because it's like getting to that high point and kind of looking down on everything that's going on out here. You know what I mean? So 3 and 9. So if you want to do any rituals, because we're going to get into rituals with Jupiter, because I really want you guys to start doing your Jupiter rituals. And there's a lot of tools that you can use. So I'm going to send you guys some resources and things. I think I'm trying to put something together that I could send you guys for a ritual, but you really want to start doing Jupitarian rituals, especially in this time that we're in right now. You guys, is so important. Okay, so you can do anything with the number 3 or the number 9. So you can do, and 3 is a part of 9. So I would do 3. So do something 3 times, have 3 of one item, anything that has to deal with 3. Jupiter's colors, yellow, orange, and purple. Yellow above anything else. That's why this whole presentation is pretty much yellow. I'm wearing yellow. I always wear yellow. So yellow. Orange can also be taken as a color of Jupiter. As you can see, the solar plexus symbol here has orange and yellow as well. And purple. Purple is also associated with Jupiter because it is a royal color, a color of royalty. And Jupiter is associated with royalty, being the king or queen of the gods. you know, being in that exalted state. I do believe in color therapy, you guys. You guys really need to do color therapy. So essentially, if you're having issues tapping into a certain planetary energy or planetary vibe, you can wear that color in order to tap into the energy, or you can have paintings around your house that color. You can even paint your wall that color. You can have sigils around your house and color them that color. You can just have a poster of freaking cardboard paper. I mean, not cardboard paper, but the, you know, the construction paper of that color, hang it up in your room, something like that, like things to remind your subconscious mind to tap into that energy. I think yellow is very good because yellow is a very optimistic energy. It's a very light energy. And it's just happy. When you look at yellow, you think of happy, and it's a very high frequency. So definitely do color therapy. Wear yellow. Wear a lot of yellow. That'll automatically put you in it. And for some people, it's uncomfortable for you to wear yellow. Like a lot of you, especially maybe the guys, when you think about wearing yellow, you're like, okay, that's doing way too much. But you know what? That kind of shows you what your relationship is to that energy. It's like you don't feel comfortable with it because that's not a frequency that you're tapped into naturally. So think about it that way. Like me, 2 years ago, I used to just wear black, gray, and white. Like I was obsessed with wearing black and white. I will wear black and white all the time. And I think that was because I was balancing out my duality at that time. And so that's why I was so attracted to black and white. But now it's like this is like my whole entire room is like this mauve pink color. So I'm like into like mauve, pink, cream. I still have black in my bed. It's like black, white, gray, and like this color, but I really like this color. It's like a soft feminine pink, right? So I was like, oh, I'm tapping into my feminine energy more, you know, or this is just like showing that I'm becoming like softer, maybe more receptive. So yeah, I'm a huge believer in color therapy. I think just the colors that you wear naturally, even like the prints that you wear, stuff like that, tells you about what's going on subconsciously, you guys, because it was even proven to me today and every other day that like we do things unconsciously. And it's like you really need to pay attention to what you do unconsciously because that's literally revealing your unconscious to you. So with me wearing black and white all the time, that was revealing something to me. That was revealing that I was in the middle of trying to balance out two sides of myself. And I just thought, oh, I love black and white together. I love the way it looks. But there was a deeper subconscious message in that because now I don't even wear black and white that much. I had black and white on today, but that was like the first time in I don't know how long. So anyways, herbs, you guys, herbs. You can use herbs in rituals. Cloves, nutmeg, dandelion, peony, anise, saffron, honeysuckle. Okay. And I've, researched this across many sites, and these were, and books, these were the main ones that were coming up the most. And I've worked with these as well, especially the saffron, the honeysuckle, the cloves. I haven't worked with dandelion yet, but I'm probably going to go pick some. I'm going to go pick some and do something with it. Or you can even just get yellow roses. I know I was working with yellow roses when I was trying to repair my solar plexus chakra last year. And that really worked for me, just having yellow roses in my house and like picking them and spreading them around. And so, yeah. Also bananas, guys. Something about bananas, they're yellow. You can eat them or you can just have them like on display in your house, bananas. Minerals and stones. So on the alchemical table, Jupiter rules 10. Jupiter rules 10. So, they have tin foil. You can do something with the tin foil just to tap into the Jupiter frequency. Stones, amethyst, sapphire. I didn't spell that right. It's with 2 P's. Sorry, guys. Sapphire, citrine, yellow topaz, marble, carnelian, and diamonds. Ooh. Okay, so yeah. Get your stones to work with to tap into the Jupiter frequency. I imagine amethyst is because of the purple involved. And I think it's the third eye too that one taps into as well. So those are some stones you guys can use. Jupiter's day is Thursday. Okay? So do your Jupiter rituals on Thursday to honor Jupiter. Jupiter's hour is the hour after sunrise. Okay? And that makes sense because the sun is just starting to rise, obviously at sunrise, and then it's like it's shooting up. It's like it's an upward path right from there. So you can do your work then early in the morning, because I look at early in the morning as being a very optimistic energy. Believe it or not, you guys, I'm a morning person. Like, I love the morning time. It's my favorite time of the day. And I think it's because of like that ninth house Jupiter energy, where it's like, I feel like I have infinite opportunities in the morning time. I'm like, I can do anything today. I'm not running out of time. The whole day waits ahead of me. I can be whoever I want. I can do whatever I want. So morning time, you know, setting the intentions for your day, seizing the opportunities that come your way. Okay, and just tapping into that optimism. And then Jupiter is also related to the solar plexus chakra, not surprising. So you can actually work on, since we're already tapped into the yellow frequency, you can work on your sun energy and your Jupiter energy together as one. And here is the solar plexus symbol here. So, you know, working on that confidence. Jupiter's all about confidence, but like I said, it's confidence in the universe. Not really, it's confident in yourself too. You know, Sagittarians are very confident, but this isn't about Sagittarians. This is about Jupiter. So it's more so about having that confidence that everything is going to turn out in your favor. Okay, and sticking with that and staying on that vibe and staying on that frequency. Okay, because solar plexus chakra, they're not scared of anything. They're very strong in their convictions. They have very high self-esteem, and they stand in their truth, because Jupiter has a lot to deal with truth as well. They stand in their truth, and they kind of, you know, they don't hold back, or they don't stop until, you know, they get what they want. So if you need help with the Jupiter frequency, do some solar plexus work. That'll really help for you. Now, Jupiter remedies, okay? Now, with the Jupiter remedies, you guys, first of all, let me just tell you guys about some of the things that, how to know when you don't have a good Jupiter, okay? Let me come back really quick and stop sharing my screen real quick, because I got to look up something else for that. It's on it's on my email. So let me stop sharing my screen. How you guys doing? Jordan talking about, I love daydreaming. Yeah, smiley face. If you don't like yellow, then go for orange. Of course, go with what you resonate with. If you don't like yellow, then you don't like it for a reason. You know, it just may not be your thing. Okay, guys, let me. Because a lot of people have a weak Jupiter, and we need to understand and know how to know when you have a weak Jupiter. Okay, very, very important. Everything is associated with yellow when it deals with Jupiter, though. It's like you need to eat yellow foods. You need to have yellow flowers. Like, everything is about yellow. And let me tell you guys, it may seem very elementary, but ever since I've been like wearing yellow and been into the yellow frequency, I swear to you guys, like, I've been having more luck. Like, no lie. It's like, it's real. It's real. It's not fake. So if you have a weak Jupiter, right, some of the characteristics is poor knowledge, liver and or stomach related problems. You experience delay in marriage. You have dry skin. I have dry skin. So, ill-shaped body. A person with a weak Jupiter will face familial disputes and problems in married life. Yeah, they really emphasize like issues with marriage means that you have a weak, like you need to fix your Jupiter, essentially. Egoism and anger, experience instability in life, marital problems. See, they're always emphasizing the marital problems, emphasizing. Not able to take care of self or family, hindrance while starting new work, dual personality, pretending to be someone that you're not. Okay, so it kind of seems like when you have a weak Jupiter, it's like you don't have strong conviction and you don't stand strong in who you are as a person. See, that goes back to the solar plexus. And the solar plexus also has to deal with confidence too. So keep that in mind. So if you're experiencing any of those things, you may just want to go straight to a remedy for Jupiter in order to bring that energy back up in your life. Because really, you guys, this is all about alchemy. You know, we have an energetic body. Our body's made up of energy. And sometimes the energies in our bodies have imbalances, and we need those imbalances fixed, or we need a certain energy in our life to help balance out those energies that are imbalanced. You see what I'm saying? So keep that in mind, okay? Keep that in mind for the things that you guys need to do. Oh, that's good, Bellatana. She said dandelions. She's been drinking dandelion root. Okay, and ginger. Yeah, I can see how that can be helpful. Yep, I can definitely see how that can be helpful. Yeah, yellow is very positive, you guys. It is. And it uplifts you. It really does work on the subconscious mind. It uplifts you. Okay, guys, so let's go back so we can get into these remedies for Jupiter. Okay, we need to find out how to fix this. Okay, so Jupiter remedies. Now, some of these, you guys, is going to sound kind of weird, okay? But this is how it is. Sometimes you got to do a little bit of weird stuff. Okay, so turmeric powder. Now, turmeric powder is very, very powerful and strong with Jupiter. I don't know what it is, but it's something about the turmeric powder that is very much in alignment with the Jupiter frequency. So a lot of people cook with turmeric powder. I already know. I have some in my cabinet. But they say if you rub some turmeric powder on your forehead, this is a good omen for Jupiter, you guys. Yes, rub it on your forehead. Maybe you can make it part of your beauty regimen. I actually know a lot of ladies that make turmeric masks, and they put the turmeric mask on their face. They let it sit there. And I imagine that will be even better than rubbing it on your forehead. You put it on your whole entire face and then just let it sit there. And then I imagine, because we don't just go by, you know, traditional things, you can make up your own rituals, because I always encourage you to make up your own rituals. So you can make up your own rituals using turmeric powder. You can make you a little potion or whatever, a Jupitarian potion, add turmeric powder in there, put it on some flowers, whatever you got to do. See, I can just come up with something off the top of my dome. And, but turmeric powder, you want to, anything that you're doing with Jupiter, you want to add turmeric powder. Even if you're doing prayer or you're doing chants on Thursday at the Jupitarian hour, you want to include some turmeric, okay? They say avoid meat and alcohol. These are things that tend to numb or not numb. These are things that tend to dilute. I'm not finding the right word. You guys know what I mean. These are things that dilute the Jupiter energy, you guys. Meat and alcohol. Okay. It's just not good for the Jupiter frequency. Now, I'm not saying you can't do these things, but maybe, you know, when you're being a little bit excessive, just know that it can make it so that that energy may not want to mess with you that much because you have that. And I do see that because I know in people that I know that like have a drinking problem, and I'm talking about people that are like alcoholics, they don't tend to have that much luck in their life. They don't seem to have much luck in their life. And I guess it's because of a lack of Jupiter. Okay. Wear gold, you guys. Get you some gold rings. I don't have my gold rings on today. Get you some gold rings. Get you some gold earrings. Get you some gold headpieces. Get you a gold belly chain and real gold. Okay. Not the fake stuff. You got to get real gold. Okay. Wearing gold increases your Jupiter frequency. And then there's something about the yellow sapphire stone that's very, very connected to Jupiter. Yellow sapphire. Okay. And again, we're all about making up our own remedies, our own rituals. So whatever you think in the yellow vibration, that's something that you think connects with Jupiter or reminds you of Jupiter, wear it. You know what I mean? Why not? Now, observe fast on Thursday. So we know that Thursday is the day of Jupiter, right? So we want to observe fast on Thursdays, okay? Because when you fast, it's kind of like an offering to a certain energy. You're making an offering. You're telling this energy that you're serious about it. I'm serious about inviting more of the Jupiter frequency into my life. So I'm going to fast on Thursday in devotion to Jupiter. Type of thing, you know, or for half of the day, whatever the case may be. Also, Thursdays would be the ideal day to do your chants, okay? And we're going to get into the chants in a second. To do your chants toward Jupiter, okay? Always on the Thursday. Preferably, if a Thursday falls on a 3-day, all the better. If a Thursday falls even on a 6 or a 9-day, still good. Okay, because we're tapping into that triple fold tri energy, that 3 energy, the triple energy. So you're tapping into that too. Donate yellow fruit. I know this is random as hell, but donate yellow fruit to the food bank. It's an offering. It's an offering. Look, you guys, offerings are a real thing. It's like, you know, you're making an offering. And then respect teachers and elders, right? Because Jupiter rules teachers. So respect your teachers and elders, respect True B, and Jupiter will provide you with all the blessings. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, let's see. See. Wait. Oh, okay. The Jupiter transit. Blah blah. Okay. Did the Jupiter remedies? Okay, we are. Let's see. Okay, so how do you? Let me see. Seeing opportunities. A higher purpose. Oh yeah. Okay, this is what I want to show you guys. So then also, this is Jupiter's yantra. Now I'm gonna send this to you guys because this is very, very important. Let me tell you guys something. Yantras changed my life 2 years ago. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Sri Yantra, but I started doing deep visualizations, meditations with the Sri Yantra, and that brought me so much wealth and like security and possessions, like everything like that. And I didn't even go as hard as I could have went with it, where I could have been doing it like legit as a discipline every single day at the same time. I didn't, but I did it for a good, like a little bit over a month. It might have been like 2 months. I was into the Sri Yantra heavy, and I taught a class about it actually with it involved called Creatorship 101. And it was life-changing. It was life-changing. So I found Jupiter's Yantra, which I'm very, very excited because I haven't tried this yet, you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dress in all yellow. I'm going to put some gold on, some gold earrings, probably put some saffron on. And I'm going to do these chants, okay? The chant is Om Gurve Namaha, okay? And you have to chant it 108 times. Now, there's most likely a video for this, probably on YouTube, where you can like go along with the music and the song and do the chant. But you want to start doing the yantras. You can make it a daily practice, or you can do it on Thursdays if you just want to observe it on Thursdays to ask the Jupiter frequency to come into your life, or ask for yourself to be opened up to receive the Jupiter frequency, to see the Jupiter frequency, to experience the Jupiter frequency. And what you do is you just kind of stare at the yantra, and you stare at it for long enough where the image is captured in your mind's eye. So you stare at it for a pretty long time. Sometimes like I'll stare at it for like maybe 2 minutes, and then I'll close my eyes. And then you'll know that you captured it with your mind's eye when you can see it when you close your eyes. When you close your eyes, if you can't see it in your mind's eye, it should appear as a pattern in your mind's eye. If you can't see it in your mind's eye, you didn't stare at it long enough. You got to stare at it, capture it, and then once it's in your mind's eye, then it's captured. Because what this is, it's like a communication symbol. So it's communicating to your unconscious mind. Okay, so the color, everything matters. Now we'll be able to print these off, but you can color it yourself, or you can paint it yourself, and you can put it on your door. You can put it in your bedroom. You can put it in your bathroom. You can put it over your altar. Whatever you need to do, but start practicing visualizations with it. Visualizations is so powerful for manifestation. That's that Pisces energy, seeing it in your mind's eye and making it happen. Now, I want to go back because there was a few slides that I forgot, and that would be the placement, the Jupiter placement in astrology. So just to go back to understanding Jupiter on a basic level in your astrology chart. Okay, so everybody should know what their Jupiter placement is. And I was having a conversation with my friend the other day, and we were just kind of talking about how Jupiter is like the most forgotten planet. I don't want to say it's the most, well, it kind of is in astrology. Like people don't pay that much attention to their Jupiter placement at all. They forget about it. It's like people put overemphasis on their Saturn because they're stressed and depressed about it. And then, of course, the inner planets, people put overemphasis on their inner planets. Not really Mercury so much, but the other planets. And then, you know, Uranus and Neptune, hit or miss, whether people put, you know, a heavy emphasis on it. But your Jupiter placement is very helpful in astrology, but I feel like a lot of people don't really know what it means. And so that's why people are failing to tap into it. But honestly, your Jupiter placement can save your entire life. Like it can save you, okay? So your Jupiter placement, where you seek and find opportunities in life. And so this is more so talking about the house placement, where you seek and find opportunities in life. So where there is more opportunities available to you than in other areas of your life, unless Jupiter is in there with other planets and stuff, which can disrupt the power of Jupiter, depending upon if it's something helping or hindering. It also depends on if Jupiter's being blocked or whatever the case may be. But it's where you seek and where you have a lot of opportunities, or things are just expanded for you to have more opportunities for growth. It's where you have life experience and wisdom. So this is actually something that you can become a teacher in these things because you have so much life experience and wisdom with this thing. And it's kind of like you're a natural at it. You're a natural teacher. You're a natural through life experience. You know these things through life experience. And life experience is the greatest teacher. Not reading in a book, any of that, not listening to somebody else's belief system, but your own experience through your life, okay? Where you are blessed and granted many chances. So a lot of people may find that, you know, with your Jupiter placement, you're given a lot more leeway in that area of life than with other people. People may be more understanding of you in this area. You may have more chances to get it right. Like I know for me, having Jupiter in the 4th house, I've always been supplied with like a place to stay and like a comfortable home. Or the homes that I get, it's like I either get a huge discount on them, or they're super easy for me to get. Like I don't have to jump through hoops or do that much to like get approved for a place. It's just super easy. And then there's usually some type of bonus that comes along with it. Like even now, like before this pandemic thing broke out, my lease came around for my lease to be renewed, and they went up on my rent significantly, you guys. Like it was a lot, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is gonna add extra BS, you know, into what I have to pay for every month. So I was like not happy about it. And then this pandemic thing happened, and then they like emailed me and they're like, oh, because of the pandemic, we're going to let you renew at the same rate that you were in last year. Like, we're just going to let you stay at the same rate. And I was like, what? Like, I was shocked. So yeah, it's like little stuff like that, you know, with my Jupiter being in the 4th house natally. It's just, I always get blessings when it comes to like home and even like family stuff, you know, like my family is really, really, really supportive of me. And I'm very close with my family, like extremely close, probably too close with my family. I'm like on group chat with my mom and my dad all the time. And we're just, you know, so it is a place where you can consider, you can be blessed. And it could be something that you don't even notice, but other people notice about you. Like even growing up, like my friends would always be like, oh, I wish I had a mom like yours, or I wish I had this and that, even though I had my own personal issues where I'm like, I do not have the perfect family. But other people wouldn't see it that way. People would be like, oh my gosh, I wish I had this and I wish I had that, you know, pertaining to my family. Just, I guess, being supportive to me, because I guess I don't realize how many people's families aren't supportive of them, you know, or how many people's mothers like treat them like crap and like don't talk to them, or, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I am blessed, you know, to have that type of support. So that's kind of how you can look at it. And of course, where expansion lies for you. So where your Jupiter planet or placement is, that's where you want to seek expansion. That's where you want to grow at. That's where you want to take your life to the next level. And that's where you can actually push the envelope a lot, where your Jupiter placement. You probably have a lot more chances to fail where your Jupiter placement is than other people. It's like if somebody else was to try that BS that you're trying, they wouldn't get away with it. But because you have Jupiter there, it's like you can get away with a little bit more. Okay, so be mindful of that. Let me flip through this real quick. I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that too. Oh yeah. Okay, here we go. Okay, Jupiter transits, how you gain wisdom to expand your lives. Now, Jupiter transits, you guys, really big deal. A lot of people, again, don't pay attention to Jupiter even when it comes to transits. But, you know, ever since I've really been paying very close to transits the last couple of years, I've noticed the difference in Jupiter transits. Now, one thing to know about Jupiter, and this is what I wanted to say too, I don't think Jupiter just comes along and just gives you a bunch of free stuff. I think that's where people have it twisted. And that's why people think like Jupiter's not working for me, or Jupiter went through this house and it didn't do anything for me. Jupiter just doesn't come through and just give you a bunch of money. Like Jupiter gives you the wisdom and expands your consciousness so that you know how to get that thing yourself. So if anything, Jupiter gives you higher knowledge when it comes through a house. It gives you like, it kind of pulls back the curtain. So it's like, say you've been going through your life doing things in the same old damn way, and it's like you're not getting anywhere with it. And then when Jupiter comes through and transits that house for you, Jupiter like expands your mind. It's like, look at these opportunities over here that you didn't see before. This is how you can get the car you want. Okay, so say it's getting a new car can be Jupiter transit through the second, because that's possessions, or it can be Jupiter transit through the third, since that's transportation. But let's just say it's Jupiter transiting through the second, right? So say that you've been wanting to buy a new car for like a long time. It's like, I'm tired of this raggedy beater. Like, I need a new car, but I don't know how I'm going to be able to afford a new car. Like, I have so many bills. I have this, I have that. La, 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 right? So you feel a little bit restrained, a little bit blocked. You don't know how you're going to do it. You want it, but you don't know how you're going to do it. Then Jupiter comes through and it transits through your second house. And then it's like, next thing you know, you find out about like these back doorways that you can rent a car but not have to pay that much. Like, you start finding out about how you can lease a vehicle through your business. You can lease a vehicle through your business, and then you can put it in your business name. So that way you don't even have to go off your own credit. You can go off your business credit. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jupiter will come through and it'll bring knowledge to you, and it'll bring wisdom to you, either through other people, through you searching on the internet, whatever. And it makes you aware of the other opportunities that are there for you to get what you want, that you weren't aware of before. Why? Because you were closed-minded. Okay. So Jupiter just doesn't come around and just give you free stuff. It opens your mind up again to the solutions that are already there, but that you did not see before. That's what Jupiter transits are. Okay. And you have to act on those things. So Jupiter can come through and give you a whole bunch of wisdom. Like, Jupiter can come through and give you wisdom and show you all these solutions. Like, this is how you can get a new car. This is how you can get a new car. You can go through the side way. You can go through the back door. You can do this and do that. But just because Jupiter's telling you how you can do it still doesn't mean that you're going to do it. Why? Because you could still have a whole lot of fear around it. You could still be like, well, I don't know if that's going to work, or what if it fails, and da, 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 da. Well, then it's like Jupiter can't help you. Like, Jupiter can't help you because you're not willing to like kind of go out on a limb and again, try something that you've never tried before, because Jupiter is about new experiences. So it's like Jupiter will show you the way, but it's like you have to walk through the door. Okay, that's how that works. Now, Jupiter transiting through the fire house. Now, pay attention. Everybody knows, like, where's Jupiter transiting in your chart right now? Put it in the chat where Jupiter's transiting through your chart. Jupiter just came into my fourth house, so I'm really interested to see how this is going to go. It's not going to be there long because Jupiter's getting ready to retrograde, you know, in a couple months, I think. And so then it's going to end up going back into my third to finish up its lessons for me in the third house. But okay, so let's go through these transits. So for Jupiter in transiting through the fire houses, some of the questions that you may be asking yourself, and the fire houses are the first, the fifth, and the ninth house. First house is the house of the self. Fifth house is the house of fun and your hobbies and entertainment. And ninth house, of course, is foreign things, things outside your comfort zone. So some of the questions you could be asking yourself is, how can I expound on my creative gifts? How can I inspire more? What am I not expressing within myself? So the what am I not expressing in myself is a huge one, I feel, because you can kind of realize where you kind of felt stuck in a box, because Jupiter transits can also make you aware of where you felt stuck in a box, like where you haven't been pushing your limits, where you've been staying complacent. Jupiter comes through and makes you see that. That's why when Jupiter goes through the fourth house, you may start feeling like your house is too small for you. Like for me, I'm ready to buy a house. I'm like, after I move out of here, I'm going to buy a house because it's like, I need more space. I need this, I need that. So Jupiter will start making you feel restricted, like not the way Saturn makes you feel restricted, because Saturn will really come through and like restrict you. But Jupiter will make you aware of like how much space you don't have, or how much room you have to grow in this area that you haven't done. So it's like What am I not expressing in myself? Like with the 5th house, why am I not enjoying myself? Like, why don't I go out with my friends? Why don't I paint? Like, why don't I dance? Like, I need to go join a dance class or something like that so I can like express. There's some energy. My inner child needs expression. You know, my inner child's feeling suffocated. Like, let me go do something to do that. You know what I'm saying? Or when Jupiter transits through your 9th house, I'm tired of the United States. If you live in the United States, like I've seen every state. I'm tired of going to these same cities. Like, I want to see something new. I want to go to a new country where I don't know nobody and I can just vibe out. You know what I mean? So that's what that's like. And then Jupiter through water houses, the questions may be, how can I connect deeper with my intuition? How much do I reflect? Am I missing emotional connection? Because a lot of people go through life, especially if you're somebody that's very detached and you're like, okay, I'm out here having all this fun with my friends, or I'm out here working successful in this career, but I don't have no family to come home to every night. Like I feel emotionally disconnected. I don't have nobody that really loves me or nobody that's really showing me affection like that. I want something deeper. Like, I need intimacy in my life. Or maybe you've been dating and you're like, there's no emotional connection with these people I've been dating with. Like, I'm yearning for something different. So Jupiter will start to make you aware of those types of things. And then Jupiter will also possibly make you aware of how disconnected from your intuition that you are as well, and how you need to follow your intuition more, follow, you know, your instincts that way, and also cause you to reflect on things. Now, Jupiter through the air houses, the question can be, do I have a healthy perspective on life? How are my connections benefiting me? So it's more so dealing with your perspective, like the way you're looking at things. Maybe you're very narrow-minded, you know, maybe you don't think outside the box, or maybe when you think of points of view, you only see your point of view. You don't see any other people's point of view. So Jupiter can come along and kind of give you wisdom or know-how, or kind of lift the curtain on how you need to look at things differently in your life. And how are your connections benefiting you? So yeah, like, you know, the air houses are the social houses. So it's like, how are you socially? You know, are you able to strike up a conversation? You know, maybe you're a person that struggles with communication. So Jupiter is going to come through and show you how to communicate with people, how to communicate with strangers that you don't know, how to strike up a conversation with them. And it may put you in a bunch of situations where you have to do that, but it's not in a Saturn type of way. Saturn kind of like forces you to do stuff that you don't want to do. Jupiter shows you a better way for you to do it. Like say you have a hard time, like say if Jupiter is going through your 3rd house. I just experienced this transit. So say you have a hard time like sparking up conversations with people in person, right? 3rd house. Then Jupiter may open up some opportunities for you to maybe get into a group, like get into a Facebook group or something like that. Or because this would be Jupiter through your 11th house too. You know, it'll open up an opportunity, right? Because that's Jupiter. It'll open up an opportunity for you to be inside this group online. So something that you feel comfortable doing, it's like you can start talking to people that way to kind of get you used to what it's like connecting to people that you don't know. You see what I'm saying? Now, Jupiter through the earth houses, how can I make myself feel more stable in the world? Where is my value? What can I offer the world tangibly? Stability plays a huge role when Jupiter transits through the earth house. You're going to realize 9 times out of 10 how unstable you are and how you need to expand on that. So like even like with Jupiter going through the 2nd house, again, that could be possessions. Like you feel like you need to buy a bigger house because you need more room in order to feel more comfortable. So Jupiter transit through the 2nd will kind of make you aware of that and also give you the know-how on how to do that. It'll make you reevaluate what your values are. You know, what do I truly value? What's important in my life? What's not? And also, what gifts can you offer the world tangibly? Like, I'm not really offering all that I can offer the world, you know, in a practical way. So we can do that and making those things practical. So those are the transits. Really pay attention to Jupiter transits, because also you kind of have a lot of leeway when Jupiter's transiting through a house. It's like you can make a lot of changes when Jupiter is in a house, and Jupiter is like a forgivable loan. Like that's how that's how I would look at Jupiter, as like a forgivable loan. So it's like you can play around a little bit when Jupiter is transiting through a house. You can play around with what you like and what you don't like. And you can make a few mistakes when Jupiter is transiting through a house, you know, because then Jupiter will just show you a new way to do it. Jupiter will correct you, because Jupiter is a correcting energy, but not in the way Saturn is. Saturn will correct you and give you harsh consequences. Jupiter will just kind of pick you up and put you over here, like, okay, no, look over here. Like, this is a better way for you to do it in a nurturing way, right? Jupiter exalted in Cancer. Jupiter teaches in a nurturing way. It doesn't slap your hand the first time that you do something the way Saturn does. It gently changes your perspective for you to see, like, no, like, look over here. It's kind of like with a baby, you know, look over here. You see, this is easier for you. It's that type of vibe, okay? It's that type of vibe. I like saying that. Okay, traveling fire. I want to leave that for last. Okay, so let's talk about, let me make sure I didn't have anything else on astrology. Do Jupiter in business. Okay. Let's talk about Jupiter frequency. Okay. Yeah, because this is a point that's very, very important for me to get across, which was a huge thing for me, a realization for me this year of redefining what wealth is exactly. You know, I feel like moving out of the 3D to 5D, we're starting to realize that wealth is not just in the material. I mean, I feel like we always knew it as a concept, but I feel like now it's more of a reality where it's like wealth is not just what you have on hand. So I think Jupiter tries to show you that your wealth is in new experiences, because I always say wisdom is the gift that keeps on giving. It's like when you have a certain experience and you learn a valuable lesson from that, you can give that knowledge and that wisdom to a whole bunch of people. And that's how your energy, that's how your Jupiter frequency multiplies. Because you give that wisdom to somebody else and then they learn from it, and then they give it to someone else and they learn from it. So it's like that multiplying energy, which Jupiter is a huge amplifier and multiplier. Okay, so remember that. New experiences are invaluable. You guys just think about it. Like when you buy something material, right? Say you buy something, you buy a Chanel purse or whatever, which usually you're going to buy a Chanel purse for other people, but like for other people's enjoyment, not yours. But anyways, you spend $5,000 on a Chanel purse, because that's how much they cost. You spend $5,000 on a Chanel purse, right? And that's just something that just sits in your closet and you wear it every now and then, whatever. Or you could spend that $5,000 to go on a vacation with your friends to Atlantis in the Bahamas, right? And you go on that vacation with your friends, and it's like the experiences that you have there with your friends is just so incredible and so amazing. And the vibe is so good. And you guys create memories with each other that's going to last for the rest of your life and beyond. That's why I said in here, experiences stick with you for life and beyond, because your soul takes your experiences with it to the next life, to the afterlife, to whichever life. And it stays with you. Experiences are imprinted on your soul. Okay, that Chanel bag ain't imprinted on your soul, because when you pass, can you take that Chanel bag with you? No, but you can always take your experiences with you. You can always take that feeling that you felt when you were with your friends of pure gratitude and love. You can always take that with you. Nobody can ever take that from you. Okay. So that's what I'm talking about. Invaluable experiences that you can't put a price tag on. And what are you always going to remember? You're always going to remember that trip with your friends. Like, you're just going to be like, oh my gosh, that was so much fun. And it's just going to create a good vibration in your life for you to live off of forevermore, you know. And it's something, like I said, you can't put a price tag on. So those types of things are more valuable than material. Okay. So I want people to start valuing their experiences over, like, you can never recreate that. Like, something material, you can buy that again. You can get that again if you lose that. But it's like all the time that you spend like just doing nothing, when you could spend your money on having experiences. I feel like that is kind of what we should be spending our money on, is having experiences. And it's not just travel, because a lot of people think that it's just traveling places, but it's really about the people that you're with. Not to deal with the people, you know, so you can't put a price tag on people either. So, and also it grows your consciousness, right? You go somewhere, you have a brand new experience that you've never had before. And then you come back from your trip and you look at life totally differently than you looked at it when you went there, right? That's a growth spurt in consciousness, which is also something that has no price tag. You can't put a price tag on that, because then that experience is deposited into your subconscious memory bank. And then you make all of your future life decisions based off of those experiences in your subconscious memory bank. This is why they tell you to travel and visit different cultures and things like that. So you can see other ways of life and how other people live, so that you can change your perspective, because Jupiter is all about perspective, having a healthy perspective. Gifts that are intangible, some forms of wealth, community, being cultured, rich in spirit. You know, people that are rich in spirit, you hear people say it all the time. Like, I may not have that much money, but I'm rich in spirit. And that's a real thing, you know, because that's the only thing that you can take with you. So you might as well invest in it. So the what I'm trying to say with this is invest in experiences. Okay? Try doing that, guys. Yes, buy your house, buy your car, buy your stuff, but invest in experiences. You know what I'm saying? And community too. Community is wealth, guys, because how many people get all these things, even if you can't afford to travel? Like I said, traveling is not just it, because you can afford to travel to the most beautiful places on earth. But if you don't have nobody or no people to come with you to experience those places together, then like, what's the point? And I'm not saying like traveling by yourself isn't a thing, because I think traveling by yourself is amazing too. And it's something I would definitely do. But I think having the right people around you as community is a very, very valuable experience as well, because their consciousness adds to what it is that you're doing too. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Global impact and influence. So the question to ask yourself would be on the Jupiter frequency is, are you making a global impact and having global influence? Are you influencing people? Not in the way that these celebrities or these, you know, these fake influencers do, but I'm talking about from a genuine place, like, you know, waking people up around the world and connecting and influencing them. You know what I mean? Having a global impact, changing people's lives. Not a stunting thing. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you being on the gram, taking pictures and you having 100,000 likes. To me, that's not global impact. That's definitely not global impact. It's global influence, but it's not global impact. I feel like to have an impact, you need to touch people's hearts. Like, you need to touch people emotionally. So touch as many people as possible, expansive, change as many lives as possible. Worldwide publishing and distribution is just basically about getting your information out to the world. Again, touching as many people as possible, spreading it worldwide, busting it wide open. Having a big presence, make your energy known. Okay, so this is where the confidence factor comes in again. Make your presence known, you know what I mean? Spread that energy outwards, expansion. And then Jupiter's energy multiplies itself, you know? So when you have when you have that good vibe about yourself and you give that energy to a person or people, then they go out and they take the energy that you gave them and they expand it out even further. So they tell people about you and the experience. Oh my God, I had this amazing experience with this person. They're amazing. And then your influence just starts spreading and spreading and spreading and spreading. You know what I mean? It's like a global takeover. So it's like, and that's why you need to make an impact on people, because when you make an impact on people, they never forget that. They never forget that. Again, it's an experience that they take with them for the rest of their lives. So to know that you impacted people, so many people's lives, is like, I feel like that's a form of wealth too, because you know, like, damn, like, I'm the reason why this person's thinking on an entirely new level, or I'm the reason why this person tapped into their creativity and now they're being successful in their business. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like I was, and when I say I'm the reason why, I mean more so you are the inspiration behind, you know, because that's what Jupiter is about. It's about being a global inspiration. So inspiring people to go out and kind of do their own thing and like become the best versions of themselves. And this is really what celebrity is supposed to be. It's supposed to be more of a genuine, it's supposed to come from more of a genuine place. But real leaders make more leaders, you know, and I'm sure you guys have heard that. Real leaders create more leaders. They don't create followers, but they create more leaders. Okay. And change people's lives like forever, you know? So seizing the opportunities, look at this symbol for expansion, y'all. This is it. Expanding out in all different directions. North, west, east, south, northeast, southwest, like every direction. So again, this goes about to getting, you know, your energy out to as many people, not in a way where it's sloppy and chaotic and all over the place, but it's about trying to touch as many people as possible is what it's about. Okay. And kind of thinking of a bunch of different ways that you can do it as well, you know, because you can make an impact in several ways. Seizing opportunities. Okay. So making sure you guys don't doubt yourself. When those opportunities come up, take them. Take them. Just go out on a leap of faith. Just take the opportunities, you know, unless it's something that's like so obvious and in your face that you shouldn't do and you just have a bad feeling about it, then obviously don't. But if there's an opportunity that comes up at the right place at the right time, sometimes it don't even have to be the right time. Like it could be the wrong time, but it could be like a once in a lifetime opportunity. It's like you need to take it. Going places you have never been, both internally and externally. Right. Because expansion is not just about external expansion, and expansion is also internal expansion. So they always talk about traveling within your consciousness. So it's like traveling to your superconscious, your unconscious, exploring yourself too. Like the explorer is not just out in the physical world. The explorer is exploring your own feelings and emotions. That's Jupiter exalted in Cancer. Exploring your own unconscious mind. So you can come to that wisdom, that divine wisdom that is the highest currency in the universe. So going places that you've never been, not being afraid to push those limits, to push those emotional limits too. It's about pushing your emotional limits. Oh, I don't feel comfortable. Then that's kind of how you know that's what you're supposed to be doing. If something makes you uncomfortable, I'm not talking about if it's like predatory or something like that, but if a new experience, like if a new, fresh, exciting experience makes you feel uncomfortable, then that's when you know you're growing. That's when you know like growth is right around the corner. It makes you uncomfortable, but you're going to grow out of that being uncomfortable. Okay. So uncharted territory is the name of the game. We're jumping into uncharted territory, just like with the goddess retreat. I never threw a goddess retreat before. I just freaking did it. And I didn't overthink about it. This is not about overthinking. Jupiter, this is why Jupiter is in detriment in Gemini. because you can overthink stuff and then you don't ever end up getting anything done. So don't overthink it, you know, just go for it. Move beyond fear, the next wording. Move beyond fear. The universe will catch you. Look, because it's not even going to bring something in your point of field if it's not something that's good for you. Like, that's how I look at it. It's like, why is it even going to bring it into your awareness? You know? So move beyond the fear and just go for it. Have that faith in the universe that the universe will catch you always. No? Okay, so let's look at the higher perspective. The Jupiter frequency isn't about seeing what's in front of you. It's about seeing the possibilities everywhere. So the higher perspective is about not getting fooled by what's in front of your own eyes. Okay, and this is even talking about what the chaos that's going on right now. So not being fooled by your own reality. And I know that might sound crazy. Like, how can I not believe in my own reality when this is what I'm living? But yeah, this is what you're living right now. But this isn't what you're living in the future that you're creating in your super conscious mind. That's the Jupiter frequency. Because you're never stuck nowhere. The eternal moment is always changing. The eternal moment is always turning into something new. So you're not stuck nowhere. This is what you're seeing right now. But what you're seeing the next minute can be something totally different. You are always in the center of choice. It's an illusion that you don't have a choice. You always have a choice because the opportunity is there and the answer to any issue or problem exists, is there. It's just, are you going to have the higher perspective to see that it's already there? Because they tell you guys in spiritual books all the time, like, all solutions to all problems all exist here in the now. Like, all probabilities, all ways that life can turn out, all exist right here, right now. It's just about what path you choose, and most importantly, what you choose to see. This is why the Jupiter frequency is about vision, having a higher vision. What do you choose to see? That's really what it's about. Because belief creates the universe, really, it does. A lot of people don't believe that, and that's just a reflection of your belief system. Do you see how much your belief systems plays into things? It's like, if you don't believe that, then it's not true for you. It's all about what you believe. Like, we literally live in a belief-based universe. That's what they should call it, a belief-based universe. Because there's no limit. You know what I mean? If you choose to see the limit, then that's what you're choosing for your reality. Okay, so start thinking about the solution that already exists for whatever it is that you're going through. And I'm actually going to use this in like a situation that I'm going through in my life right now, is like knowing that the solution already exists. I just need to become aware of what that is. Okay, start thinking like that. And then it's like your super conscious will start working with you. It'll bring it into your point of vision. It'll bring it into your point of vision, but it's all about what you believe, you know, point blank. Okay, guys, so let's see. Let me stop this. Yeah, freedom. It's the inner child to run free, loose, on the prowl. Let your inner child up. Stop locking your inner child in the dungeon. Like, that's not right. That's not cool. Yep, fashionably born. She said yes, which is why I spend my money on experiences over material things. And I actually think, because I think there's like a combination between the Jupiter and the Uranus frequency going on right now. I'm seeing kind of a combination between both the Jupiter and the Uranian frequency. I'll probably do the Uranus frequency class too. I'm really excited about that. But, you know, Uranus being in Taurus is making us value different things than what we valued before. So our values are changing. We're no longer going to be valuing the material things. We're going to be valuing other things. Like I said, community, freedom. We need to value freedom. to do what we want. Yes, your higher mind, tapping into the super conscious, you guys. Because yeah, we have the subconscious mind, and it's like I have spent a lot of time in my subconscious, like understanding my primary motivations and why I do the things I do and the emotions and the feelings. But now it's like I want to tap more into that higher mind of like kind of just like getting into your God state, your God energy. I know the answers already exist for me, so bring it to me. You're the genie in the bottle, you know? Yeah, Tiffany, you do. Tiffany has Jupiter in the first house and Uranus. Oh my goodness, in Sag in the first house and within 1 degree. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I always tell Jupiter in the first house people, I'm like, I need your energy. My daughter has Jupiter in the first house. And I'm like, I wish I had that placement, y'all. I do have Jupiter trine my ascendant, but that's about as close as I get. Yeah, because, Saturn is in Aquarius right now. So I feel like we do need to tap into the Uranus frequency too. I do feel that. I mean, both of them have to deal with freedom. Uranus is freedom. Jupiter is freedom. And they're both about rising above the mundane, like not caring about what's going on down here. Like we're in outer space. We can't relate. You know what I mean? We got space and opportunity out here where we're at. We're not down in the earthly 3D getting blocked at every turn. You know what I mean? So I think Saturn in Aquarius is really going to be having us get into our detachment, which is going to help with our Jupiter frequency, getting into learning to detach. This has nothing to do with me. I'm flying high in my positive frequency. This negativity going on down here, that's not my problem. Everything's great here. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think the attitude that we all need to have right here. It's like we're seeing all this crazy stuff on the news, but it's like, what's going on in your reality? Let's focus on that. What's going on in front of your face? Is your family good? Is your kids good? Do you have food in the refrigerator? Are you happy? Are things going great in your life? Then you're good. Why do you have to bring yourself down to a negative vibration just because somebody else is trying to tell you how to feel? It's like, no, we're staying in the 5th dimension. We're staying in the 5D from now on. So do you guys have any like important questions? I don't want to keep you guys too long. Do you guys have any important questions regarding the Jupiter frequency that maybe you want to ask? Yeah. Well, because I mean, Jupiter, you do have to be careful because Jupiter doesn't have limitations and sometimes isn't aware of its limitations. So you do have to be careful about that. And Pisces is no boundaries. And Cancer has no structure. So yeah. But I feel like we're all kind of collectively bogged down by this like 3D Saturn matrix energy. So I feel like even if you're a person that has like a lot of Sagittarius Aquarian energy, we still are all under this collective kind of heaviness of dealing with 3D regardless. Oh, you have 9 pages of notes. 9, that's the number. That's the number of Jupiter. Jupiter and Capricorn in the 4th. Well, you're having your Jupiter return this year, so congratulations. Jupiter in the 4th house is good. Jupiter and Capricorn. Okay, so one of your gifts is being able to structure the home and family life. You can probably do that for a lot of people too, not just your actual family, but you probably have a lot of wisdom around how to like structure other people's emotions and also structure the home and family life, like how to provide kind of like that safe haven for people, I would feel. So kind of acting as like a father figure or an authority figure, but in a nurturing way. When it's in the 4th house, it's nurturing. I know Jupiter, Leah Alexander said, what if Jupiter and Saturn are in the same house? I know a lot of people have that going on. It just makes you a little bit more realistic and cautious when it comes to the risk-taking part of Jupiter, which sometimes can be good because Jupiter can go overboard at times. But Jupiter also bounces back very quick and easily because of its optimism. So it's like even Jupiter is not going to be down and out for long. Like Jupiter's going to bounce back. But I kind of feel like it is kind of good because I feel like Saturn can't really do you dirty as much as Saturn would like to, because Jupiter is there to protect you, because I look at Jupiter as being like a protector. And then you still know your limitations, so you don't go overboard with your Jupiter, like I said, or you're just not out here making like naive decisions. Jupiter return is something you definitely need to take advantage of. I have mine next year in Aquarius. I'm so excited. But the Jupiter return is a huge cycle of completion in your life. 12 years. It takes 12 years for Jupiter to come back around. So you will most likely see expansion in the house that Jupiter rules during your Jupiter return. So you'll see that house get bigger, or you'll become more aware of the things in that house. You'll probably pay more attention to that house and feel more comfortable. You know, you'll bond more with that house, with that energy. Jupiter in Cancer is exalted. So in the 1st house, Sagittarius in the 7th house. Jupiter in Cancer in the 1st. A lot of you guys have Jupiter in the 1st. I think Jupiter in the 1st is a really good placement. You're like a mom. You're like a den mom to everybody, smiley face. It's like you're everybody's mom. But you give like that warm energy. I really like Jupiter and Cancer energy together, because Jupiter is already super jovial and kind of just like, everybody come in. And, you know, it's very inclusive and spreading that good cheer. But then Cancer adds that nurturing quality to it. So it's not so over the top, because Jupiter can be over the top sometimes. It can be like, it can be excessive. So with Cancer, it gives it that nurturing quality. I think where people may look up to you as like a mother figure or father figure if you're a man. I love Jupiter in Libra. I think Jupiter in Libra is a good placement. Yeah, so you can go back and watch the class at any time. You guys have the link to the class. Don't worry. Jupiter in the fire houses, like natally, Jupiter does really well in all of the fire signs. So Jupiter in Leo, Jupiter in Aries, Jupiter in Sag, really, really good placements. I personally love Jupiter in Leo. I think it's a bomb placement. Jupiter and Leo people are very popular, very, very popular people. They have a big energy about themselves. They usually like to party. They like to get their party on, you know, sometimes they like to get their drink on. But they bring really good vibes. They get the, you know, they get the party going. It doesn't have to be an actual party, but it's like they get the energy going. You know what I mean? That's with any Jupiter and fire signs. They're usually very lucky too. If you have Jupiter and fire, you're usually very lucky. You always get called somebody's mother, Smiley. Oh, that's a good placement. That's a very, people need your energy in this world. Oh yeah, Jupiter and Leo in the 5th, that's lit. That's, you need to throw parties or like do something for entertainment, or you need to be an entertainer or something. Start a YouTube channel. People will love you. Do I think it's too late to start a YouTube channel and add value? No, you can start a YouTube channel. You can start a YouTube channel whenever. I do think there's going to be changes coming to the internet though, but I can't say exactly what those changes are going to be, but I think things are going to be changing. Oh yeah, Maria Elise, Jupiter and Sag in the 12th. That's a really good placement. I love Jupiter in the 12th. I think you guys are very much spiritually and divinely guided by the universe, and you have very high healing properties. Yeah, Jupiter in the 12th is amazing. Pay attention to your dreams. You can do astral traveling with that. Jupiter and Sag in the 12th, you can do astral. You probably be doing astral traveling in your sleep. Yeah, I have Jupiter in Aquarius in the 4th. You have it in the 11th. I like Jupiter in the 11th because that means you can connect with the collective and you can have a huge impact on the collective. Your job is kind of to bring the collective together and like come up with solutions. You're supposed to be a humanitarian. If you have Jupiter and Aquarius in 11th, you're supposed to see everybody's needs. So what this group of people needs, what this group of people, and you're supposed to see the higher perspective of what can be done to bring those groups together or to get them to agree on something or to come up with some type of policies that will work for everybody. Because Aquarian energy makes like good politicians and stuff like that too, because you're able to see different groups of people and what their needs, wants, and desires are and solutions to make that happen. Dang, a lot of you guys got Jupiter in the 12th. Whoa, where y'all hiding out at? I need y'all on my team, honey. Y'all be seeing into the ethers. Yeah, I've been talking to one of my best friends about the 12th house lately, and we got to talk about the 12th house again, guys, because we've been cracking codes with the 12th house, and it's not what people think. These definitions on the 12th house is like they're so negative, but I think 12th house people are tapped into some stuff that people don't understand, and that's why they label it as bad. Oh, Obama has Jupiter in Aquarius. I thought he had that. I thought he did. Ain't he in Aquarius? Moon? Because he has sun opposite moon like me too. I remember he has sun opposite moon. Girl, Jupiter and Gemini in the 6th, your Jupiter's really in fall. So you have to get into the Jupiter frequency. So I don't know if you watch this whole presentation, but you really need to like tap in because Jupiter is in detriment in Gemini and in the 6th house. So, okay, email me appetite for chick, or is it chic? Appetite for chic. Yeah, 12th house. I got to talk about the 12th house for real. Yeah, everybody got Jupiter in the 12th. Y'all just blessed for no reason. Obama's a Leo, but he has Aquarius energy, like in his moon or his ascendant is something Aquarius. I remember. I didn't say it's unwise. I just said that's not what Jupiter's for, Yemi. Jupiter's not about material. It's about rising above the material. It's about spiritual wealth, like the real wealth, which is spiritual. So you can use it for material. Of course, you can use it for material, but you got to remember Jupiter falls in Capricorn, which is material, and Jupiter is in detriment in Virgo. And then Jupiter and Taurus is like, okay, my daughter has Jupiter and Taurus. Jupiter and Taurus is okay, but it doesn't do its best in Taurus. You know what I mean? It's because Jupiter's not an earthly energy. Like Jupiter don't really like Earth, anything that has to deal with Earth. That's why Jupiter rules freedom. It's like, I don't want that. Jupiter likes to go with the flow, and Jupiter likes to discover new things, you know? Miss Melanin Empress, you're a good communicator, though, you know? You're a good communicator. There's a positive side of everything. Even if it is involved, there's still a positive side. You need to nurture and heal people, smiley face. That's what Cancer is here to do. Heal, nurture. Therapy. Cancer energy is very good for therapy, working through the subconscious, working through childhood trauma, stuff like that. Cancer is really good at that. Or to nurture. You can nurture in a bunch of ways. You know, you can nurture through cooking for people. That's a way to nurture. Providing a comfortable like environment for people, stuff like that. Jordan, they try to say it don't do well. Traditional astrology says it doesn't do well in Aquarius, but I don't believe that. I think obviously it does well in Aquarius. It's like they're both about freedom. I love Jupiter and Libra, though. I think that's one of the best. I think that's a really good placement because it keeps you, well, maybe not, because I'm like Jupiter and the Libra, I was like, because it keeps you balanced. But since Jupiter is excessive, it may actually make you imbalanced. Jupiter and Libra, chime in the chat about what it's like having Jupiter and Libra. Because Saturn is exalted in Libra. So Jupiter's arch enemy. Yeah, you can do that, Red Goddess of Fire and Water. I have Cancer midheaven. So I feel like I nurture people through teaching because I have Cancer in the 9th house. So I nurture people through knowledge, through spirit, like teaching them things, like helping them see the higher perspective, what you guys see me doing right now. That's my way of nurturing. As a matter of fact, wherever Cancer is in your chart, that's how you nurture people. Okay, so whatever house or houses, sometimes it could be in 2 houses, bless you. That's how you nurture. Where Scorpio is in your chart, that's how you transform either yourself or other people, you know? So every sign, you have every sign somewhere on your chart. So that's how you know how to do that, okay? Elizabeth said, you're going to be writing the notebook with that placement. Ooh, it must be somebody with some Gemini. Yeah, I have Mars in the 9th house, and the only time I get energized is when I'm teaching. Like, you guys see how energetic I am when I'm teaching? I'm usually not energetic like this. Like, okay? But when I'm teaching, I'm like, I get excited. It's like either when I'm teaching or when I'm traveling somewhere I've never been before. Like if I'm going somewhere I've never been before, I'll be up at the crack of dawn. Let's go. Like, let's get dressed. Let's get cute. Like, let's go explore the city. But if I'm somewhere where I'm familiar, then I'm just lazy. Like, I'm just chilling. I'm just like unimpressed as hell. So the only time I get excited is, like I said, when I'm teaching or when I'm somewhere that I've never been. That's it. And that's all. So that's Mars in the 9th. Jupiter in Aquarius is very fair-minded. So when you think about your Jupiter placement, you guys, Jupiter is your higher mind, okay? Mercury is your lower mind. Jupiter is your higher mind. That's why you always kind of want to observe the relationship between your Mercury and your Jupiter too, because if they're not in accordance with each other, that means your lower mind and your higher mind are in 2 different things. And your higher mind is always trying to tell you kind of like the more right way to go, or like the higher perspective, you know, like seeing things is kind of detached. So seeing things from your highest good, kind of, okay? So for me, with my Jupiter being in Aquarius, my highest good is to see things in a very impartial way, and is to pay attention and acknowledge all the different differences amongst people and situations, and know that there's different points of view, and really none of them are necessarily right or wrong, but people have different experiences, and I need to think about the vastness of the world and how there's different types of people and kind of see things that way. But that's kind of hard for me because I have a lot of Scorpio energy, and Scorpio energy is very black and white. Either it's right or either it's wrong. It's like there's no in between. Aquarius is very fair-minded. Like Aquarius takes into account all the different experiences of different people, and it's very tolerant. So it's like, well, yeah, I understand that, but this person may not have, you know, I think Aquarius makes very good kind of like judge of character in a way. Yeah, Tiana Marie, Mars in Cancer is very good for manifesting from the subconscious mind. So if you have Mars in a water sign, magical work, rituals, manifesting from the subconscious mind is your thing. Working in the physical world is not your thing, unless you have Mars and Scorpio. Mars and Scorpio can do both, kind of. Mars and Scorpio can be a beast in the physical and in the magical. But like Mars and Pisces and Mars and Cancer, you need to work that magic. Okay. I highly suggest that you do rituals to get what you want. Venus and water too. Venus and water too. Leah, everybody wants to make you their wife. Of course they do. Yeah, Mars in 12th is very powerful for, see, and they say that's a bad placement, but it's very powerful for decoding the unconscious mind and for healing. Oh my God, Mars in the 12th. Listen, Mars in the 12th can do remote healing. Like you can be a remote healer, especially with it being in Scorpio. You can heal people from remote places because 12th house energy is remote energy. It's like, you don't even got to be touching anybody and you can heal them because you guys are connected to the unconscious mind of all human beings. But you see, this is getting into some, I'm like forgetting, like we're not on live right now. I may have to like come back on live and like finish talking to you guys because this is the Jupiter frequency class. So I need to keep it cute for Jupiter. But yeah, guys, let me get some things together and then we can probably come back and like finish our conversation, guys. But yeah, it was like, as we about to, you know us, we about to start getting into decoding placements and we gonna be here all night. We're gonna be chatting it up all night, okay? But we do need to talk about that Mars energy because that's another thing that people misunderstand. Yeah, Tiffany, girl, Mars and Pisces. That is so magical. Yeah, you work in the subconscious. We'll talk about it because I have Mars in Cancer, so I get it. But yeah, you guys, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. I'm so sorry, but maybe I'll come back. I know I always say I'm gonna come back and I don't, so I don't want to tell you guys I'm gonna come back, but I want to come back because I have my makeup done and I'm dressed, so I'm ready to go. And I need to pull some tarot. So anyways, if you missed any part of the class, just go back and watch it. We gonna do the damn thing. Yeah, we can talk about Jupiter rituals. I was thinking of sending you guys, but there's so many of you guys, but I was thinking of sending you guys like some rituals and some mantras for you guys to tap into the Jupiter frequency. I guess I could do that. But just give me like 2 days because there's a lot of you. Oh, thank you, Tim. Thank you for everybody that came through and supported me as always. Like y'all came through, like, oh, okay. Well, I love you guys. Oh my gosh, this is like really making me want to go live because we be having deep conversations, you guys. Like we be getting it in. Okay. So anyways, bye. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.